chat. All right, I'll give it about 5 minutes. I'm a little late, guys. I apologize. I am trying to cook my corned beef. I had to run to the restroom. And by the time I forgot something in the thing, I had to let the Instapot let the pressure out so I could open it and put the onions in. So I'm doing it with, I think it's corned beef. It already had the pickling spices. It was sitting in its brine. I didn't rinse it. I left it in its brine. Per the recipe I'm looking at in Instapot. And I threw in some beer, and then it said, if you do beer only, it said it could be bitter. So one of them said some brown sugar. So I put a little brown sugar in there. I thought I had beef bouillons, but I didn't. But I had a beef stew mix, so that's what got used. Hey, Ton, can you hear me? Let me know you can hear me. Oh, I wear my glasses. Yeah, I want to go get some new ones. Prescription hasn't changed, but I need to go get some new ones. How you doing, baby? Oh, let me know how you doing. Let me make sure I got everything set. Live chat. Okay. And thank you for the glasses compliment. Yeah, I want to get some new ones. I seen some, I like these kind of funky looking and geeky. I'll try to find a picture and put it on the community page so y'all can see them, but I like them. And they're from a company, Fuyu, something like something. It's a weird name, but you put your prescription, they mail it to you. So I'm going to try that because I really like them. Car's okay. I still need to get in and get some other stuff done to it. I'm going to go to your, to Jiffy Lube, because you and another person that's here, that's my Joe, his friend, Victoria, our friend Victoria, she said that. Oh, you looking to buy a car? Hey, PJ, what's up, baby? How your weather, guys? Y'all have? I know there's a cold front going through the middle of this country. I know here we had rains for a couple of days, and it was jumped down up to the 70s. Now we're back down into the 50s and 60s, but I think we're gonna jump back up. I haven't even touched the garden yet. It's all wet and gooey and all that other stuff. I'm either deciding I'm gonna go out there, or I might either hire Linda's garden guy to come out there and clean everything out. I'm gonna be ordering a raised bed that I saw at Walmart. It's not. I would really like one of the real tall ones, but I ain't got the kind of funds right now. So I'm gonna order one that's about this big. And plus, I'm in an apartment, so I don't. I'm real cautious about putting too much money in the back, but I'm gonna put in. But a lot of these people been here a long time, so it's just because this area right now, a lot of people are buying. Like the houses over here are probably going for millions over here, and they little houses ain't big. So a lot of the historical districts in Phoenix now, the houses. Matter of fact, Victoria, our friend, really closer to Joe, but she grew up over here, and the house that she grew up in went for over $1 million some odd dollars. And I was like, what? That little house. But yeah, and I love cottage homes, but I'd have to have some moolah to do that. I mean, some money. And I love cottagey style home, but I don't know that I would do that. I'm leaning towards, if I came into money, I would just buy me some land, get some of those containers, or either do the arch cabin kit. And I would probably put a house up for me. I don't want anything really huge. A house up for somebody who would work on the land with me, because I'm old now and I can feel it. And even if I get this weight off, which preferably we're going to have to start working on, because I can feel it, as I'm getting older. But I would then have them live there and help me with the garden. Let me see who's on here. Yeah, I think around the country, everybody should be warming up, probably coming up into April. I'm thinking this is possibly the last cold front, and then we getting ready to get hot. But it's running. I still need to go find out. I took it to a couple different mechanics to find out about the clicking. Nobody can really give me that, so I'm going to have to do the dealership thing and see if they can figure it out. But the dealership, I'm going to let them do the serpentine belt, the transmission fluid, and the I think those are the main two. Serpentine belt, transmission fluid, maybe the fuel. Because the car is still under a manufacturer warranty until it hits 100,000 miles. Right now, we're just at 80. So I got like 20, and I'm not As we get older, we don't drive as much. I do want to take a little road trip into Tucson. I'm going down there to eat some Mexican food. It's one of my Native American Christian friends did some recipes from a. So Tucson has I think they have the oldest Mexican food restaurant here in Arizona. Supposedly the inventors of the chimichanga. I can't say what they did or not. I've been there years ago. Tanya, I can't get senior discounts yet, homie. These ninjas. I'm 55, which is senior. That's considered senior, right? They ain't giving senior discounts unless you're 60 plus. I'm having an issue. I was all excited. I'm like, oh, not unless you're 60 plus. That's when you get them. They being special. Who doing the corned beef today? Anybody do corned beef today? Yeah, right? I thought at 55 you could get it. And when I go to places, oh, it's got to be like 60 plus to get the senior discounts. I don't know if they changed it during COVID and everybody, everybody greed. COVID created more greedy people and more buttholes. More buttholes. I got story time for y'all, but I can't do it right now. I gotta wait. I'm waiting on some stuff. But baby, if everything, I'm praying that some things happen. If they happen, we gonna have story time. What, corned beef? You talking about corned beef? You talking about corned beef? Are you talking about corned beef? Let me know if you're talking about corned beef. I do have the AARP. I got the AARP cards in my 40s. I've been having my A since I was 40. So you could get your AARP card early, and they sent me that at my 40s. So that I got. So I get discounts with it, but unless you're sick, and it's only the AARP discounts. But if you're not 60, you don't get no discounts. Okay, corned beef. You've done? Have you? I think today's St. Patty's Day, right? Because corned beef is supposed to be the St. Patty's Day meal, right? Let me know if I'm on the same page. If everybody on the same page with me. Let me know. So corned beef is it's like the St. Patty's Day meal. It's corned beef, which is a brisket. It's a tough part of the brisket. You done cabbage. Okay. So it's basically the meat, the brisket part that's corned beef, and it's soaked in a brine, so it has a certain kind of flavor to it. It's like a pickly kind of flavor to it. So a lot of times you eat it with mustard, right? And it's supposed to be made with potatoes, carrots, and cabbage. Now I'm doing mine in the Instant Pot, which I did last year. Was it last year I did it? And then what I did, praise Jesus, because God had shown me the store stuff. My freezers are full, and I woke up this morning and said, I think I got a corned beef brisket in the freezer. So I went in there and we went through some stuff that I'm like, I got mystery meat because I wrapped up stuff and put it in foil and didn't write on the package. So I tell Linda gets a kick out of me. I said, well, tonight is mystery meat night. And I'll pull something out. I don't know what the heck it is until it thaws out. I'm like, oh, that's a pork chop. Oh, that's a chicken breast. Oh, that's some chicken wings. Oh, I got a steak. Oh, there's half the time. Well, this is a twofold situation, Tanya. So the thing is that it depends on how they have yours packaged. What you think is blood may not be blood, it may be brine. So you need to read the package. Normally, they will go ahead to go through the processing, they clean, and then they package it in the brine, which is not necessarily blood. If you want to rinse it, you can. It's actually like a marinade. That's the best way I can tell you. So it's in a brine. Mine was in a brine, and it looked clumpy when I did it, but I read the package, and the package said it was packaged in a brine. I did not rinse it. I want the flavors of the brine. Some people don't. So it's up to you. My recipe that I use, and I did an Instant Pot recipe, they did say you can use the liquids from the brine, which I did. Then you have some will come with the pickling seasoning, which you sprinkle on there, which I'm using. But my recipe also talked about, I did mine with beer because corned beef is a very tough meat unless you cook. It's like brisket. It's a brisket. Corned beef brisket. It's brisket. Boom, bam. There you go. It's a brisket. So brisket, as you know, you have to cook it a while for it to become tender. It's great meat, But you got to cook that bad boy a minute. Like when I smoke mine, I smoke it and then I wrap it in my foil and then I just let that sucker sit. And it will cook. I let it cook. Or actually, I sometimes even put it in a turkey pan and I'll leave it open so that I can get more. I like that the bark, that kind of hard part of the outside of the meat, and the inside will be tender. But you got to leave it on the grill for a hot minute in order for it. Same as ribs. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. Ribs are tough unless you cook them long enough. Same thing with brisket. Well, this is a brisket, so I leave the brine on it. I don't wash the brine off. They do say wash it if you're not going to use the brine, or if it doesn't come in a brine, then you wash it just like you would any piece of meat. But because this came in a brine, I left it, and then I poured the beer in the pot. I forgot to put the onions in, so that's why I was late here, because I was like, oh crap, I forgot to put onions in there. And then it mentioned bouillon. I thought I had beef bouillon, but I guess I'm out. I got chicken bouillon, but I don't want to use it. But what I had, we're going to have to see how it's going to work out. I had a packet of beef stew mix. So that's usually like some crushed up beef bouillon and whatever else to thicken the gravy. I ain't worried about that. But I'm like, cool, whatever's in there is going to work because it's a piece of meat. And then I put my onions in there, and it mentioned, because the beer can make it better, it mentioned brown sugar. So I did add some brown sugar in there. So we're going to see how it's going to come out. It's going to be fine either way. And then I got my cabbage, my carrots, and I'm going to cut up an onion and red potatoes. So I'm going to cut those up. Last year I used a different different corned beef recipe, and my cabbage, I don't like my cabbage mushy. I like my cabbage with some crunch to it. I don't like it all the way done, normally. I mean, eventually, but I don't like my cabbage all the way done. I like my cabbage to have a little crunch. So if someone tells me to cook it for a length of time, I cook it for half that time or less. So this is a different recipe I'm trying, because what she did, she had you do the cabbage and the carrots and the potatoes after the brisket, and you take the brisket out, so the corned beef out. So I'm gonna take it out. I got some of the was it Maylee or whatever, the really coarse mustard with the seeds, which is supposed to be really good, which I like mustard. I'm a huge mustard person. I love mustard. Love, love mustard. I prefer mustard over ketchup. Only time I like ketchup is if I'm probably doing fries. I'm not a ketchup person to the degree that some people are. I have a craving every so often. I'm a mustard person. Like my burgers, give me, well, I got a gnat. I don't know if that's a gnat. Give me mustard. Something almost like it was a gnat. Give me mustard. Or it might have been a moth. It almost felt like a moth. Give me mustard over anything else. So I came in the back, and right now, because of the rains, ain't no telling what I got up in here right now. I done had a whole bunch of little creatures fly in. I had a moth the other night. I saw some gnats. I can't stand them. I got my vinegar, water all around the house right now. And I just got rid of a bout with gnats, and then it rained again. As soon as you walk in the back, it's just gnat hail, because I got all the dirt out there, and the dirt draws them. And I want to start growing plants, but you got to have, because the plants, they can have the dirt and that's the fungus nest. So you can do, I guess, these things called granules. I forgot what they call. It's like little granules. Yeah, so I don't rinse the brine off. But if you want to rinse it, you can, because the brine is flavor, that it's like the flavoring that they did in order for that beef to be the flavor it is for corned beef. And then I did the pickling season over it. And this is the first time I used the brown sugar, and I did use beer. I used beer last time, and it came out okay. My only issue was my cabbage was too mushy. Um, I didn't like the cabbage. Cabbage was too mushy. And I'm the same way with carrots. I like my carrots not crunchy, but firm, but bite through. And so I'm really weird. And I don't like, for example, if Joe cooks, when I went to his house, and he's cooked a couple of different things for me, which I liked. He cooked the Mexican version of the oxtail stew, which is amazing. But when I got it, and I figured we changed that up. I don't want no vegetables I can't see. I like chunks of vegetables. And when I did it and he ate mine, he goes, "Oh my God, yours is better than mine." Because I like chunky vegetables, and I up the flavor. His was really, really good, so I'm not knocking it. But I am a seasoning. Well, I think that's a black thing too. Latinos do it too, but not we season. We season. Indian people season, and people from Thailand season. The Thai food, Indian food, and I mean Indian from India, and Black folk soul food. We believe in seasoning. Yes, we do. I need flavor. I need flavor. So And I'm not saying Mexican food doesn't have seasoning. Theirs is different because they like a lot of spice. So a lot of times they're complementing their cooking with something spicy like a salsa or something you put on after the fact. The Mexican food, I like Mexican food. No shade on them. Love it and it's flavorful. But his didn't have the level of impact until he had mine. He's like, yours is so good. And so he calls me for something like I introduced him. Y'all grew up with this. It's some people. It's a new name, the struggle meal, but it's a po man's meal. And it was you take white rice, you take cheap portions of chicken, legs, thighs, put it all in the rice, and then you take cream of mushroom soup. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Or cream of chicken soup. And you pour it over there, and you put some water in there, you put it in the oven, let it bake. And the next thing you got one of the best meals you ever had, which is some rice and chicken and the flavoring from the Campbell's noodle soup. He never had made that before until I told him. And now he like, oh, I'm calling because I'm about to make my recipe. He's so cute. I'm about to make my recipe. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to see a thing. So yeah, no, everything that's what's cooking right now. So right now the meat is cooking. I haven't really ate anything. I went to my new favorite store. It's just my favorite store because I like to drive up and they bring my stuff to me. They kind of pricey, but I like them. I've done Walmart $35 drive up, but see, Target don't require a minimum. I had $20 and had a little extra on there. I just buy a gift card because I don't really like storing my card on sites because Target has been hacked a lot. So I buy a gift card for Target and Walmart, load it onto the app, and then buy what I want and drive up and get it. That is what I prefer. So I use my top favorite new store is between my Middle Eastern restaurant, which one of my friends just moved back here, Regina, and I took her, she's 5 minutes from there because she's staying in a temporary location until she gets settled here. She's trying to find employment here. Um, but once she fully settles here and she gets another place, but she's 5 minutes from the Middle Eastern market. And so we all met and we went and had lunch and we caught up, me, her, and Joe. We invited the other two, but they were busy. So we had lunch and she's fine. So when I took her back home, I said, girl, we right by this market. I need to go in here and get some stuff. And so she was like, she went in and she's got 5 kids. So 4 of them are grown. One of them is still underage. And then she got a grandbaby. So there's 7 of them all in there staying. So the 5, 6, 7 with her and the baby. So I said, girl, because I know you on budget, and everybody trying to get jobs here in Arizona. I think one son has already picked up some work, but everybody trying to get jobs. So I said, girl, come on. Let me take you in this little market. It's right here by your house and it's cheap. And I said, now it's Muslim, so Middle Eastern Muslim, more Muslim based, not Jewish based, Muslim based. I said, so here you're going to get what's called halal, which is it's the Muslim version of kosher meat, right? I said, so the meat is killed a certain way. It's maintained, and you will find, I hate to say it, I think, in my opinion, the meat's better. Their butcher block is so nice and clean, and the meat is cheap. Ground lamb, if I go to Whole Foods, them ninjas got the nerve to charge you almost $11 for a pound of ground lamb. I go over here, I can get 3 different versions of ground lamb, a lean version, and the prices have ranged between $3.99 a pound up to $5 a pound, which is cheap. You can get lamb meat if you want to do a stew, like cubes. You can get lamb chops, leg of lamb, and they leg of lamb is huge. It's like literally, I'm like, she said, Shannon. I said, yeah, that's the whole leg of the lamb up in the freezer. They have some smaller ones from Australia over to the side. I don't know where the ones they get are from, but the Australian ones are over to the side in a frozen, and then you have to take them over there. They weigh them and put the price on them. And then they tell you what the price is. I haven't done that because I've been wanting to, but I'm going to probably do that later because I've been craving a leg of lamb. I know that Costco has them. I'm not sure what Costco's price is. I have to look it up. No, Costco didn't have it when I was looking for it last time. And the other one that was high as hell was Sprouts. I'm like, Sprouts is on some different crack. Y'all, my finger has been bothering me. I have to get me a brace. And I just dropped it. I'll get it later. My finger's been bothering me. I don't know what that is. And I've got a hand brace I'm gonna put on here. I'll put it on later. It in the morning it hurts here. Right now it's numb right here in the finger. I don't know what it is. There's something going on with my finger. And it's in the morning, and then later on the day, it'll be fine. But it's been really weird lately. At first, I thought maybe it was gout, and I started doing my tart cherry juice, but I'm also on medicine for the gout. So I haven't really had any massive. My gout usually happens in my knees. So I don't know. We'll go get it checked out because I got to go do a refill anyway. Hold on, let me lower this. And y'all see my blanket behind me. My throw, and I got some books back there. Trying to think. I put something on. I don't even know what I titled the video now, y'all. I'm so tired. So I got up this morning, went in there, found the meat in the freezer, set it in the sink, let it defrost. Target sent me the message, the little purchase I was ready. They didn't have green cabbage, so they had red. So I got a head of red, and then I remembered, I think Food City, which is another, that's like the Latino grocery store here I told y'all about. They had the regular green cabbage for 3 pounds for 99 cents, and I forgot to get carrots, and they got the loose carrots. So I'm like, okay, let me go on and go over here. So I went to Food City, and I only got 2 things. I got 3-pound cabbage, a little over 3 pounds, and I got about 5 loose carrots. That was $2.26. That's why I go to the stores I go to. Because if Target wanted $2 for the head of cabbage, the purple one was $3, $2.99, which I know I probably can get cheaper elsewhere. It was $2.99. So I went ahead and got it because I wasn't sure I could get the green one. So I said, well, I'm going to get it. But yeah, prices is cray cray. Although I will now be paying for the $6.49 to 7 because I love their eggs. I had some yesterday. I was like, oh my God, it's the closest I've gotten to farm eggs. Oh my God, they're great. Fried, scrambled, they just, I can't explain it. The flavor is different. Them other ones, whatever chemicals and whatever they give in the chickens, they can keep it. Whatever I got in there now, I'll probably just use to cook, like make stuff like cornbread and stuff with. I can't do anything more. It's driving me nuts. And I misplaced you have a drip cup on the for the Instapot. I don't know where I put it. I'm gonna have to buy a new one. I'm not happy about this. I know it's here. I just don't know. I don't know if I put it in a drawer. I don't know why I wouldn't have cooked it back on there. I might have put it in a drawer with the utensils. I have to go look. Hopefully I didn't put it down with the plastics and just totally been in a rush trying to clean it up. Now to get in the refrigerator today, I don't have a lot to clean in the refrigerator because the refrigerator is pretty decent, but I got to clean out the vegetable bins because we got some stuff that's probably growing. Yeah, it's probably growing. So I think I'm going to need a different refrigerator. I don't think my refrigerator is keeping the stuff in the bottom as cold as it should be. I don't know. Or it might be me. It might be me. Oh, y'all, I'm trying to think what else I was going to tell. I was going to talk to y'all about something and totally, I'm spacing what. Oh, glasses. Speaking of glasses. Thank you, Tanya. Speaking of glasses. That's what I'm going to have. I knew I was like, I got something. So I'm going to ask y'all this question. Let's see if I can put this. I'll tell the story. So I got in my friend's car when we were supposed to go meet Regina. And I started joking about Trump. He got mad. He is not a Trump supporter. He hates him. I'm like angry. I was like, bro, why are you getting angry? I don't understand how people don't see and why they're getting ready to put this and how he got. I said, and it's hard being Christian. I get that all this is spiritual. Everything going on is meant to happen the way it's happening. I said, buddy, this is all spiritual. You keep saying it's spiritual. Let me explain something. And this friend of mine, I love him, but he sees through glasses he wants to see through. That's the best way I can say it. And as I'm interacting with people and I realize I understand some of the spiritual things behind people that other people don't understand. And I'm not telling you I see a demon, or I can see the demonic forces behind people through the characteristics of how they act. That's the best way to put it. Not that I'm seeing, but I have seen things and behaviors that are like, or what the Bible calls familiar. Some people call it a familiar. So you've seen that spirit in people. Because I have One of my friends, I saw behaviors that he had that were familiar to somebody else that I know. And then I was like, and then that's sometimes I'll lean in like this and go, because then I'm identifying it. And then it's funny because I've had a couple of times where I've identified it and the person will give me a look. And it's like they're not in control. I'm dealing with whatever that is, what that demonic force is. And I've had that too, where they give you a look and you're like, so and so, are you there? Because you know it's not them. It's something else going on. Okay. Um, so he's getting really angry. I said, why are you angry? Do you have any control of this? No. So why are you angry about this situation? What's meant to happen if this man gets back in, our male, grown male gets back in office, I'm gonna go man, if he gets back in office, everything that happened, I said, now I know, me and you may be on different pages, but the word of God says, I choose kings. I mean, God puts who he wants to put in there for the purpose and reason and the season he has them in there around the world. There is nothing that is going on right now that is a surprise to him. Not only that, he may have even commanded it or allowed it. Whichever one, it's all happening for a reason and a season and a purpose. So I said this to him, I'm like, bruh, you're getting upset behind something you have absolutely no control over. You can't go to people and shake them, wake them up. I have come to that conclusion. I have accepted it. I got friends I love dearly, and they do some weird crap. Love them dearly. They do some things I don't necessarily agree with. Some of them got greed issues and do some really weird stuff. Not the greed food, greed money. Some of them tolerate some ratchet stuff in their family. Not my issue. That's who they are. Do you, boo boo? You can't change people. People got it. Only one who can change people is God if they are so willing. He don't force himself on people. It's something that, hey, they allow. So the thing is that what glasses are you seeing in? And this same buddy of mine, his family, he's got some very ratchet people in the family. Y'all know how I am about the family drama. He got some ratchet folk. And he has one sister who I definitely believe has some mental health issues. Definitely believe there are some spiritual things behind her, as well as her children and her grandchildren. Okay. And he had custody of two of them. And some of the stuff, if I told you, it would be mind blowing. And you sit there and he'll rah-rah them. And then all of a sudden he's sitting at me depressed because it's not what he wanted. It's weird because it's like he puts on the glasses he wants to see the light of the individual or situation in. And I'm like, bruh, it is what it is. You got a brother, he calls him all sorts of names. The guy's a jerk. In one breath, he'll tell me my poor so-and-so. And in the next breath, he's telling me how much of a jerk this guy is. In one breath, you telling me about the crazy sister. And in the next breath, you telling me poor so-and-so. In one breath, this is the one whose nephew called to hammer the nails into the tires. In one ratchetness. So for me, when he be telling me, I'm like the one nephew who wanted to hit nail, he had a full ride scholarship to one of our universities here. I mean, money. He had money, 3 different scholarships, one for the university, one for the program that helped him when he went into foster custody. They actually gave him, I mean, he had some money. And all they asked him to do was hold a little part-time job and go to school. This dude had a full freaking ride scholarship. Do nothing. If he wanted to stay in the dorms, that would have been paid for. He decided he wanted to move in with his girlfriend. They didn't even last the full semester, dropped out and came back. Okay. And I talked to him. I talked to him before I went. I said, most people aren't as blessed as you are to get the amount of scholarship money you have. I said, so I'm gonna tell you, you can either be where I'm at right now, struggling, or God has opened some doors for you, get your degree. And I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna bless you in the long haul. He dropped, and I kind of knew. He dropped out within, he wasn't even there a month. Wasn't even there a semester. Didn't even finish out the semester. Him and a little girlfriend dropped out, moved in a place down here. This is the one who got the free car. And so he sits there and then he's like, well, and when I said, he goes, yeah, so-and-so dropped out. And he says, I'm surprised. I said, you surprised? What? What? I said, I'm not. You're not? Not whatsoever. You told me the lineage of these folks, of this child, and all the madness with his mama, your sister, and what he comes from. And God, my heart goes out because it's really a jacked up situation. And this situation is extremely jacked up because their mama is cray cray, cray 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 cray. And I said she wasn't there. She shisty. I met his mom. I met their mama, and within 30 seconds, I was like, "Oh wait, oh wait, mama is shisty. I wouldn't trust her no farther I could throw her, and that ain't far, cause she wasn't a little chick." So I'm like, but the glasses, it just amazes me the glasses that people look through, and it's like you try to make something what it's not. There's stuff I can't make it what. Once I see what it is, I'm either gonna throw it the peace sign, or if it's a friend, then I know what I'm gonna tolerate and what I'm not. If it's family, I know what I'm tolerating and what I'm not. And it's not that I hate people. I will pray for people. The Lord has really shown me how to be forgiving, how to pray for people. Even the pervy stepfather, I pray that God saves him and wakes him up, and hopefully he ain't hurt no other kids. Um, but I pray God, because I don't wish hell on nobody. I just don't. I believe that there are things behind people that make them do some really jacked up stuff. And hopefully they wake up to it. Now, you can be complicit with that, which a lot of people are. Or you can want freedom. Some people don't want freedom. Some people like living in their foolishness and their craziness. Do you, boo-boo? And so right now, he has a lot of depression going on. He has a lot of stress going on. And there's some reasons for that. And I'm like, you trying to put things in glasses that you can't, you putting glasses on. No. Well, I told my brother that I wasn't going to do anything more for this particular sister. I said, and then why are you talking about it? I said, because you bet there told your brother, oh, well, let me know. Why? If I'm done, you don't have to let, God bless my mom. They don't have to let me know nothing. Zero. Zero. I ain't talked to her. I don't need to know what's going on. God bless her. I hope she work it out. I hope she gets saved. But whatever she got on board that interacts with me and is crazy, good. And y'all, you and the demon and whatever that is, y'all still there. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. I don't need to know. But you got glasses on and you want to know because you're not done. When you want to know and you want to follow along, and you're not done. It's like an intimate relationship. When you done, and now with social media, they looking and swiping. When you done, you ain't swiping and checking people's Facebook. You ain't keeping up with folks. You ain't calling. You don't care. I got a associate of mine who got divorced years ago. I like her two boys. Next thing you know, she told me all this stuff about the ex-husband. You ain't done. Only thing I need to know about the ex-husband, did you put the alimony and the child support in the account? That mean I'm done. I don't care nothing. I don't care who you screwing. I don't care who you seeing. I don't care what your rent is. I don't care what kind of car you driving. Did you put the alimony and the child support in the account? Point blank period. I don't care about all that other stuff. I don't care. That's when you know you done with an individual. You done with the madness. You done with a situation. I've learned that when I'm done, I'm done. I'm working on some stuff right now because I'm done. And I'm praying God will work it out. Do that. Because I'm done. Because it's too weird. And there's stuff I'm seeing that I know that you told me all I need to know. That's just not mean. That's just real. So my thing is, what glasses are you looking through? And I believe that some people, you want to see things how you want to see them. You don't want truth. I see people who, I've seen people go up and they try to make people what they're not. A lot of women do that in relationships with men. They try to make people what they're not in order to fit their narrative, in order to fit what they want them to be. That's not what they are. What glasses are you looking through? And I know it seems funny to me, but people struggle with what I call the truth. They can't. I'll tell people I'm not everybody's cup of tea, because I'm real about stuff. I'm not gonna sit here. I can't look in the mirror and say I'm skinny. When I go out and I see really obese people or overweight people in clothing, that I'm like, do you not know you're overweight? Do you not know that is not appealing? But they trying to, and it's like they are looking through. You want to say, what's wrong with your glasses? Because they looking through a set of and they seeing something they can't see. In the Bible, it says that God will bring them into a level of blindness, that they would not be able to see truth. They couldn't see, because that's where they chose based on decisions to be at. And I realized people, even in Christianity, folks don't want to deal with truth. They don't want to deal with the truth of their stuff. And that's where you're gonna get freedom. You can't get free from stuff until you deal with the truth of stuff. And people live like I said, Monty being a narcissist, he began to Trump's one too. I believe they believe their own lies. They start believing them. They make up this creative fantasy world, and that becomes their truth. That becomes their world. It's And God forgive me for those who switching gears, changing sexes, and you want to say you this opposed to that. Now they got people saying they dogs and cows and animals. And I don't know, I heard something, I don't know if it's true or false, but I was like blown that there's schools where the kids are saying they're a dog, and they done put litter boxes in there, because in the bathroom, so that the kid could go to the bathroom like a dog does, or a cat. It's this much. It's a bit much, y'all. But you got people, and I'm like, you telling me to call you this, but I see a full blown beard. Or your name is Robert, and you want me to call you she. That's some other world. That's some different glasses. And you want me to jump in that world with you. And what's not appealing to me is we've got a culture that's going to judge you in various formats if you don't jump into that world. That's weird. Very. So, yeah. Just the glasses that people put on. And God bless them. You got the right too. One of my biggest conversations is you have the right to do whatever you want to do. You got the right to. I went to go see, was it Dune? I think Dune. I can't remember when he first came out. I didn't watch the whole thing. I do want to see it all, but there was a whole bunch going on. I had to move the car, so I couldn't. And I had to go out and pay for it, and then I wasn't going to walk all the way back. I was like, I'm not walking all the way back. I'm just going to pay, because I was at a meter, and I should have probably parked in the parking garage, but that's a walk to where I was going. And grandma's legs ain't, her knee on the left hand side is got some stuff going on. But yeah, my thing today was what glasses he. And then I watched the video, y'all. I gotta share this. I ain't gonna be on here too long. I watched the video, and it's a lady I watch, and I was watching her because I stock. I do urban prepping, so I stock canned goods, all of that. And my house is loaded, even freezers. And so she was showing that she gardens too. So she also got into gardening, so that they can grow their own food. Especially when she talked about them prices of groceries, I said, "Girl, you ain't saying but a word." And so the one reason I'm gonna get back there in the back, which maybe next weekend I'm gonna get back there and start messing with it. And so she said, because I got a sweet potato here in the house that's growing the little things off, so I'm gonna break those off and plant them in the dirt. And that's how I grew my sweet potatoes last time. I grew some sweet potatoes last time in a pot, in the little raised pots that I had, little garden bags. But she sat up there and she was saying that she went out in her garden bed, what they used to form it, the wood, it rotted. So she thought that her gardener was going to sit and put these in and take the old wood out. Well, he wasn't doing all that. So he left the beds there for her. Now, I'm going to say this. Y'all help me. It's her and a son. No, her. She's got a grown daughter who's now just turned grown, and one son who's still in high school. Now, he's in high school. Now, I know he has some asthma issues, but this dude he looked like he almost 6 foot. Okay? Good looking little boy. Her and the daughter, now the daughter's chunky. Daughter's a little thick. Mama is lost weight because mom used to be thick. So mama is school teacher. Daughter, I think, is on her way to college. I don't know all the details. The son is in high school. I need somebody to help me. Why was mama and the daughter lifting, hold on, lifting the garden bed to drag it over to the garden? And why was mama up there with the shovel, shoveling out the wood around the old wood, the rotted wood around the garden bed? And then she, in the next video, I think it was the next video she did talking about it, she gives excuses. She doesn't really ever explain to me why I didn't see the son lift the garden bed, because he's male and he should have upper body strength. So I'm not understanding. But then she talking about, oh, there was ants in this section she was in, and you know, I would rather get bit by the ants than the kids. Ma'am, the daughter is over 18 years old. The son is dang near 18 years old. He ain't no little kid. What are you talking about? Do they have some severe allergic reaction? And the daughter just lackadaisically bringing the stuff. And then she goes, yeah, my kids are really slow. Your kids are really sorry. My buddy with the glasses, let's talk about it. He tells me he was going to have an event at his house. The one nephew who got the full ride scholarship was still at home at this time, hadn't left yet. Okay? I need somebody to help me because I'm not understanding the madness. The nephew, he says, hey, I need you because we got to get ready for company. Go in the back, sweep the leaves out, and throw them in the trash. You know, clean up the back. Now, he has trees, but he got rid of grass. It is like that fake grass, that fake turf. And all you do, you can go out there with a broom and sweep everything up. He has a blower. You can blow it out and then sweep it up and put it in the trash. So the nephew, he goes out and just sweeps everything behind the little wall where he has a built-in little kitchen with the grill now after remodeling his house. He sweeps it back behind there. So my buddy goes out there, start getting the grilling ready. And he realizes, wait a minute, why is all this stuff back here? So he calls him out. Yo, so-and-so, what's going on? Well, you told me to sweep it up. I told you to sweep and put it in trash. Well, it's back there. They won't see it. He said, do you wipe your behind? He's like, yeah. He says, why? Nobody sees it. I'm just like, but hold on. And Tanya, again, it's the one with the glasses, the one that wear the glasses about his crazy family. Y'all keep it 100. Now, I know what I would have done. Me and nephew would have had to come to Jesus meeting. Not, cell phone would have been gone. All access would have been gone. Because too old to whoop. But I know how to whoop you in a different way. Because these kids, that's all they social media and computers and all that. Everything was gone. You can't drive the car. Ain't not one dog thing. You would have access to nothing. You better walk or catch the bus. When I got done with him, we would have had to come to Jesus meeting. But here's my buddy, because of how he is with his family. I said, who went and cleaned it up? I just went and did it. You did what? What the hell you say? The hell you say? He went back there and I said, where he go back in his room and play it on his phone and video games? Exactly. I said, well, that's a really good lesson you taught him. Crazy. 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 You did a wonderful lesson. Absolutely fabulous. You taught him a big lesson. You're a winner. Dumb as hell. Dumb as hell. And that's why that same nephew, now that he ain't living at home, can call you about nailing nails and tires, because he's ratchet. And you've allowed the ratchetness. It's insanity. Insanity. The glasses we see through and the stuff we allow. Cray, cray. Cray, cray. So that's all I pretty much had. I had to tell that story. I might do, this should be done in about, it's supposed to be 90 minutes on the thing. Tanya, and the way I grew up, now the chick I had is crazy because I would have done that. She would have tried to throw a skillet with me with extension cords, a whole bunch. She would have punched me, kicked me, with a whole bunch. It was crazy. And I'm not saying because that's abuse. That was unnecessary. But there's a way to teach a lesson. And the lesson was, I'm not going to go out there and sweep that up. You're going to go clean that up. And you're going to do it the right way. And because you did it the wrong way and you're being a dick the first time I told you, I'm going to show you what a dick gets. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to teach you a little lesson. And the lesson is the phone is gone, this is gone, this is gone, and this is gone. But my buddy went back there and you did it. Why? Make him go out there and do it right. But again, it's different. It's a different world. It's a different world. I got another friend of mine, and she carrying the groceries, and her daughter's inside. And I know the daughter has some health issues, not big ones, but she young. You can bring her butt out here and help you carry that stuff in that house. Sitting in the house playing video games. So I'm confused. I'm like, you cook, still cooks meals mainly. For both of them. You know, and I get some mothers, they don't know how to cut the umbilical cord and they don't want to be lonely because she's single mom and it would be only her in the house. I get it. But there's a point where they got to grow up. You need to get a dog, I don't know, rent a room. You got to do something different because they need to grow up. Because what they going to do when mama gone? I'm not understanding. And they don't know how to be on their own. I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding. It's craziness. But like I said, some people want to look through glasses, and you look through them glasses all you want. Crazy is crazy. And when it's and the level of, and I tell people this and I mean it from the heart, I'm not being mean. Forgiveness does not mean that you sit yourself in a seat of abuse. Forgiveness means I can forgive you, but that don't mean I got to sit and jack with you and let you keep dumping on me and keep, kicking me in my butt and cracking your butt cheeks and taking dumps on me. There's a point where I say, I forgive you, but I also realize something wrong with you, so I'm going to go on over there. It doesn't make sense. It's like I said, it's the same as when a woman is getting beat by a man or vice versa. However that's happening, there is a point where you need to walk away. Walk away. I'd ask this question because y'all, there's nothing on TV to watch. So I have started watching British shows. And I like British stuff. So I've gone back to British stuff. Thank you, Tanya. I don't go to British stuff. I don't know what's going on. TV sucks. And really I don't even watch regular TV. It's all web-based TV, but it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Well, I think it's the misunderstanding of forgiveness. See, we think forgiving means I got to sit there and be around this person and continue in the abuse. Not so. Forgiveness, and this lady, her name is B Mac Wrights, and I wish I could find a video on here. I know it's on on Facebook. And she does an excellent little breakdown. And I think she's a pastor's wife. She's like a first lady. But she does an excellent little breakdown of forgiveness. And I love the way she verbalizes it. And I can't even put it probably in the same words, but just to say what she said. She says, you're sitting there upset because you're looking and hoping for someone to contact you and say, I'm sorry. She's like, I told my two siblings what happened with their father. Neither one of them say, Shannon, I'm sorry that happened to you. I hate that happened. Neither one of them. They don't care. That's an I don't care behavior, okay? Now, biological mother, she originally lied. But also she knows that she was foul in my treatment, okay? She's not coming back and saying, hey, I'm sorry I did this, that, and the other thing. She's not going to do it. She's not. That's between her and the Lord. I don't really ever want to hear from the perv. But nobody apologized for nothing. And don't say the two brothers can't do anything about it. But when you state the abuses you went through, there should be some compassion. Not whatsoever. It's, oh, well, it's like it's normal. Like, oh, well, that happens to some people. Oh, well. And it's not normal. It's sick and it's twisted. It's like with my friend's two nephews. What did I say when he told me their story? I'm very sorry for what happened to them. However, both of them got some ratchet stuff on board. One of them has done some violent ratchet stuff that he's brought back in the house on multiple occasions. Got some major psychological stuff going on. And my heart truly, 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 truly goes out. And I told him, I am sorry for what happened to this nephew. But unfortunately, you need to remove your hands because this kid is very damaged and he's not learning life. My friend still, I think for that nephew, still booking doctor's appointment for him, defending, and it's just a whole bunch of madness. I'm like, he 20, almost 25 years old. When is he going to learn to stand up on his own 2 feet? Because you are almost 70 years old. You ain't going to be around always. And we don't know what's going on with the planet. So right now, like I said, rapture and end of the world around the corner. So at least maybe 10 years, if that. You ain't going to be around probably within that time frame. And if you are, there's only so much you're going to be able to do. So, B. Mac Wright, she says this, and I love the way she put it. She says, you're looking for people to come back and apologize for how they treated you. But it's an apology you will most likely never, ever get. She says, however, you have to forgive. Forgiveness, it can be for the other person, but really forgiveness is for you. They owe the apology. They owe trying to make that wrong right, but they will never do it. They most likely will never do it. So you need to forgive for yourself. Bible tells us, I need you to forgive because I'm going to be forgiving you for your stuff. God, I forgive them. Honestly, from the heart, I do. I pray that they get it right. I don't wish hell on nobody. But forgiveness is for the other. That's for you. If a person decides to walk in that, cool. So on the sense of you forgiving and thinking you got to stay in the madness, that's a whole nother conversation of foolishness. Oh, well, the Bible tells you to turn the other cheek. You got 2 cheeks, homie. You give them try 1, try 2. After that, you need to say, I'm going to put you in God's hands and move on out. Roll out. Roll out. And leave them in their madness. And all you can do is pray for them. I pray you get it. I pray you wake up. Like my buddy, that's why I tell him I really had to tell him I don't want to learn about his family. Because it's the repeat madness. It's the cycle of, tell y'all the original story. So the first time I met the sister of the 2 nephews that he ultimately ended up getting custody of, I met her. She had a condo and was paying, like, this was back in the Schwab days, $300 a month for the mortgage, okay? The crazy mother of these kids that she had custody of, and there were at the time 3 boys and a girl, so 4. And the daughter don't hold no job. She is identity theft, drugs, all sorts of shady stuff, right? Really dark. Even mama would have her go because she didn't have, I forgot how it was, go and do stuff for her because she couldn't leave the kids. And she would steal mama's Social Security money and go and gamble it off at the casinos. Then the woman could barely pay the mortgage and have to borrow from the sister that had the money, right, back in the day. And so I remember he said, oh, my sister's going to be moving next door to me. I said, wait a minute, didn't you just tell me she's paying $300 a month for this? She's going to pay a hell of a lot more for a house next door to y'all. Well, she needs help with the kids, but she also trying to get away from her daughter. I'm sorry, I'm lost. The daughter had moved in there because you can't tell the daughter get the hell out with her. Ain't paying no bills, don't hold the job, ripping off her check, eating the food, living in the house, was not supposed to be there per the state because she wasn't supposed to be around her kids and mama had custody of. Follow the bouncing ball. Well, if she moves next to us, she knows that the daughter won't come with her because we don't like the daughter. I said, are you for real? Bro, are you for real? Yeah. So let me bounce back. Let me bounce back in this thought process. The daughter ain't paying rent. No. Okay. The daughter just live there. Daughter done stole mama's money. Mama feeding everybody. And you gonna tell me, girl, Tanya, you gonna tell me that the daughter is not going to move in with the mama next door to y'all. Well, she knows we don't like her. Bro, and this is what I should have said. This was back, again, this was back in the Schwab days. So I was just in my early 30s. And I didn't wear glasses back then. My ninja, are you crazy? Is something wrong with your glasses? Wait for it. So, sister goes, lets her house go into foreclosure, moves in with him. I moves in next door to the mama and them. She done brought a whole bunch of drama. Had dogs, brought ticks. Whole bunch of stuff going on. Whole bunch of drama. Before it was over with, ticks and bed bugs ended up in his house because it was a hot mess of all from the sister, the daughter, and the kid. So I said, curious, so your sister moved next door. Yeah, how's that going? It's all right. Where's the kid's mama, the daughter? Oh, she's in the house with her. Really? Didn't you tell me that y'all don't like her and she wasn't gonna move next door to y'all? Oh yeah. And didn't I tell you that she was gonna move next door? Oh yeah. Okay. I ain't got nothing more to say, and I don't even know nothing more about her. And before you know it, that whole saga got ticks in the backyard, bed bugs all in his house because they were coming over and she was doing all sorts of shenanigans. Absolute insanity. Girl, Tanya, drama. I ain't trying to be mean. I ain't trying to be evil. I am Christian. I love the Lord. I pray for people. I pray that his sister gets well. Hey, Wendy, what's up? Yeah, another one of my homegirls here. Her husband is at Prime right now training. He lost his forklift job here, so he's in Utah training for Prime. The goal is, I guess, they're going to go to North Carolina, and he is going to do a trucking business with his brothers because that's where he's from. But I guess she was all stressed out, and I sent her some Christian wisdom. But I'm happy he's working. I'm happy he's okay. And that's, Tanya, that's really what has happened in forgiveness. We can forgive, but so God forgives us. He does forgive us. But you old people, back when I was going to church, we used to say, you walking out your salvation. So even though I'm forgiven, it doesn't mean that I keep in my sinful behavior. That's why when Jesus would deliver people, he said, go sin no more. So you need to start walking it out. He knows we're not going to be perfect. God knows until we're transformed, that's not going to happen. But you should be cognizant and aware of those issues that you need to work out and walk out as best you can with the Lord. The ones that are strongholds that for whatever reason, it's not instant deliver. You're not able to walk out. I might say a bad word. God will forgive that. I might have anger for a minute. God will forgive that. My thing is that my goal is to walk it out and not to live in it. There are people, though, who continue to live in their madness, their sin or madness, however you want to look at it. And they believe that continuing in, oh, God will just forgive me. He'll just forgive me. And what I call it is loosey-goosey grace thought. That's different. That's a blatant type of crap. You're being blatant about what you're going to do, and you're refusing to change. I'm going to stay the way I'm going to stay. I'm not willing to want to change. I'm not willing to work with God. And it's the same with us. When we're dealing with other people, if people keep repeating the stuff because they can, your word, no boundaries, is facts. You have to set a standard. Back in the day, we used to call it tough love. Remember, that went away. All of a sudden, it's like global warming went away. Global warming. We called it tough love. That's what it is. It's tough love. God's got some tough love. There's some stuff we got to get through. There are some things we're not supposed to be doing. That's why he said it's talking about the fruit that you produce and how that shows who you are, because there should be changes happening as you're in relationship with God. If you truly are someone who wants to do different, then there is some fruit that should be produced to show you are different. I don't know what the hell that is. And I'm just like, okay. And it's drama with this girl lady all the time. And it's like she's addicted to her daughter. And God bless her. We met her and Linda met her. Linda, like, something wrong with her. I said, oh, yeah, she got mental issues. Boundaries are good things. And it's not, how can I put it? Sometimes it can be a little lonely, but it's just like, for some people like me, as I'm becoming more reclusive, because I be sitting there like this, even in my story time that I hope to be telling y'all in about, preferably maybe 30 to 60 days. I'm gonna tell y'all some story time. If God is so gracious, if things go the way I'm praying they go, wait till I tell you story time. And it's just like this. I put the glasses down. I'm like, okay, I know what I'm dealing with, and I know what I need to do. Because it's not new. And the sad part is most of the stuff is not new. I mean, child abuse, child molestation, drug users, ratchet daughters, thieves, crazy folk. That's not new to them. That's all up in the line. Now my friend wants to justify it, and I liked his mother. I did meet his mother, but his mother was a control freak. She was a control freak and manipulator. She knew exactly what to do with each child to get her children to do what she wanted to do. For him, for my friend, all she do is shun him, and you think that she knocked him out. You think that she whooped him with a belt. And he grown 40, 50-year-old man. My mama's not speaking to me. Okay. And because you got the brother that you kicked out because he called you an a-hole in the house that belongs to you, that mama signed over, that you take care of your Down syndrome brother and your almost 100-year-old mama, and you got crazy brother who ain't paying no bills, no rent, don't hold a job, up in the house cussing you out, calling you effers and all sorts of names. No, that ninja need to go. And mama, you can't talk to me because I'm supposed to tolerate the butthole? Child, bye. But again, those are those generational curses you inherit, so that's why he's used to letting foolishness come in, because mama allowed it to for a while with certain kids. And she knew how to manipulate the one who did everything to. So, no boundaries, no standards. Good one right now, and I'm really curious about this one. This little black guy, I don't know if y'all saw that on the news. He killed, I think, his stepmama, his sister, and his baby mama, which I hate the baby mama term. Somewhere up there on the East Coast. I think it's between Pennsylvania and New Jersey or something like that. It's been on the news here in the past couple of days. And the first thing when I see that stuff is, y'all didn't cut him off, because he wouldn't have been up in the house. How did he even come in the house? He would have showed up knocking at the door. It would have been 911. 911. I'll put an order of protection against a family member. You step to this door, clink, clink. I'm not about drama. And I've learned I'm not about drama. I had a friend who was a process server, and I was like, yeah. If I had somebody with some foolishness around me, I'd be sitting up in a court following a thing, order of prohibited harassment, meaning you can't come within feet of my door. I've only had to do it a couple times in my youth. I don't play, because I will not have foolishness. I will not have craziness. You get it together, we might be able to work it out, but for the most part, most people stay in their foolishness. And for whatever reason, they like the demon they have. Do you, boo-boo? Demon can't come here. And like I said, for some people, it may be lonely. And I think that's another reason people allow the foolishness back in. And that's because I'm lonely, so I'm allowed. I got a relative right now. I know that the reason she started interacting with one of her children, I'm going to use that in a loose term, and let the child move back in. And I was like, I don't think that's a good move. And I was like, you can forgive. I believe you should forgive. But forgive don't mean I'm going to bring you up in my house and you staying in my crib. Especially if you done did foolishness. And especially if I know you got ratchetness going on. And there's foolishness and ratchetness with this individual. God bless you, forgive you, but no, ma'am. No. 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 So yeah, I get it. But yeah, the BMAC, she says you need to forgive, but you and trust God and the rest of it. But it's an apology you most likely will never get. When you accept that and embrace that, you're gonna be much freer than staying in the madness and the foolishness. Yeah, and a lot of people ain't there. Wendy family is one of the, and I forgot who was on here. What's my Jay? Oh man, Grind Mode Jay was on here, the truck driver, and Grind mode said usually it's family, and absolutely right. You know, it's sad to say that, but I mean the whole war over in the Middle East. Those are two family members. It's from two brothers. Okay, that's they off they off of Abraham. They the sons of Abraham. That's his people. One and one other. That's what that is. It's a family feud, and family can be straight ratchet, crazy. Talk to you crazy. On Monty's side, Tanya, we had, and that's one of the things I asked God to do for me as I was getting delivered, because I have a temper, and I've got it, and God's really worked on me with it. Um, and I didn't know where it came from, and it scared me the first time I saw it because I didn't know how deep and dark it is, and it's dark. But when I realized where it came from after getting to know my biological father, that was something I just really took to the Lord. And in my humble opinion, He has given me skills to cope and and to cope with it and deal with it in a positive way. Whereas some of His children, they're horrible with it. One brother, he's really bad. We're both two brothers. Well, yeah, and the sad part is, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm not justifying it. Again, I believe there's spirits behind most of this, if not all of it. And I just watched a video today of a young man, and I'm going to post it on my Christian channel because he shared his testimony of his struggles with homosexuality. And where it started was he was molested by by his babysitter's, I think, teenage brother. And he was like 4 or 5 years old. And if you heard what he said, I'm like, oh, it was demonic, the whole thing. And then his later experience in his teen years was a lot of just really deep, dark. And he talks about the dark road he went. So a lot of times, too, you have people who grew up in abuses like mine, how my mother was. And those things come back. And in some form, it could be drug usage. Like people get caught up into all sorts of things, prostitution, drug usage. You don't know what's going on, how they get demented like they are. Trump's dad, I mean, that what is it, Mary Trump, the one, the niece who told a story about his dad. Usually there's going to be some sort of response to traumatic childhood damages that happen. Some women or men who get raped become very promiscuous. They become a Monty, and I don't know them. I don't say Monty was ever that. I think his had to do with traumas that happened for abandonment, for his mom, later having what I understand is early day living with his grandmother. Abandonment issues in his teen years when my grandmother sent him away to go to his father. Really, in my humble view, I think she did it in order to keep the dude she was with because he didn't want to raise my father. And I didn't like him. We none of us called him father or grandpa. The guy was a dick. And so that, I believe, created a traumatic event. And Monty's treatment of women was bad. It comes out in somewhere. It comes out in something. And so, and I'm not justifying that, but you don't just get there to where you're killing off family members. There's something that is deeper seated, and it's sick, but it's deeper seated. In Monty's side, he said we have, I think, a couple of cousins who have either killed their sons. Some of them talking about behind women. I'm like, you kill your son because they mess with the same woman. There's some deep stuff and other reasons. And when that temper, I was like, ooh, ooh. And when I realized I had it, I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm gonna exit stage left. So I usually get myself out of situations where people start poking the bear. And that's how, and God works with me to where that works very well. But again, you've got to know yourself. And I really believe you got to have a relationship with the Lord in order to have that under control. And, it's just because some people, it's like my friend, when he tells me stuff about the nephews, I'm like, that boy needs Jesus. He needs deliverance. And all in that family, they need some massive deliverance. But there are people walking around with blind. It's like Stevie Wonder could see what they walk with blinders. And so, and they allow things in that could be highly dangerous. You know, my friend, one of the nephews, when they just moved out, that nephew tried to stab him and his mama, and he let this boy come back in that house several different times. You living in foolishness. And the boy has major psychological issues. My heart goes out, but you got to walk in some wisdom. And right now, you walking in foolishness. But there are people that bring crazy back up in their house, and then you wonder why they did. And a lot of women do it. And I hate to say it, in relationships we had, and I still remember to this day, it was because black folks, we don't normally do this. Now we are more so. But it was a black guy, black girl, and they had 2 kids, and he was abusive. Something happened, and he forced them into the car and drove them. We have something called Tempe Town Lake. Drove them in the lake, killed all of them, including himself. Again, why are you choosing to bring cray cray into your life? And when you realize they cray cray, you need to exit stage left. I've dated people back in the day, not obviously not men, that were cray cray. And when I realized how cray cray they were, because I'm cray cray and you pushing the wrong buttons, that's when I know I need to remove me and I need to leave you in cray cray land. I've done that a couple times. And sometimes you will know right away, sometimes you want something different. In your 20s, I get it. But early 20s, once you hit 25 and you in foolishness, you don't need to be in foolishness. And when you with people who are bringing out something that, no, you need to run, don't walk. And that even means family. Don't put yourself, my biggest saying, do not put yourself in the seat of abuse. Get freedom, because it will do a couple of things to you. It could poke the bear to make you become extremely defensive, which take you into another level. Or it could poke the bear and make you actually not a bear, but a stepping mat, and then you lose all self-worth and self-value. And I'm not going to say self in the sense that I believe it's all about us, but there is a level of God has a value on us. We have to have a value on us and see ourselves through God's eyes. And there's a part where if somebody is trotting you under the foot where you feel absolutely worthless, people sometimes become suicidal, things like that. You need to remove yourself. And that's, some people don't understand that. And they allow it. And by that time they're, well, I don't understand and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, sometimes what you don't understand is they've been browbeat so bad, or even physically beat so bad, they have they're a wet napkin. They have no self-worth. That can go one of 2 ways. There's women who killed husbands behind that, and there's others who kill themselves, or, kill themselves and their kids. I'm not justifying it. I'm just seeing how dark it can go. And it can go, thank you, Tanya, it can go a couple of different ways. So we have to wake up and we have to understand. That's why when I know I'm in certain situations that aren't healthy, and I don't care what kind of situation it is, if it's not healthy or if I see things that aren't legal, I exit stage left. Like I said, I'm not trying to be the whistleblower and all of that. I just if I'm somewhere where stuff ain't really right, I'm like, and I'll put you in God's hands, because God will ultimately handle that. God will handle it. And people want to call it whatever you want to call it. Some people call it what's the word? We say reaping and sowing in the Christian community, but there's another word, karma. I don't believe, but it's the same kind of philosophy. Basically, what you reap, you will sow. What you sow, you will reap. That's the way to put it. And basically, if you do good, it comes back. If you do bad, it comes back. It will come back, and it ain't always gonna be pretty. It ain't always gonna be pretty. Anyway, y'all, I'm at 73 minutes. I'll be on here next Saturday or Sunday. Saturday, I think I'm gonna go to brunch at Postino's. We went and had, before we had to pick up my friend Regina, we went and had they have an avocado toast, life-changing. They did it with watermelon, like a thin slices of watermelon radish. And I can't remember if it had tomato on there too, but tomato, whatever was on. And then I kept tasting lemon. They did an infused lemon oil. Grandma getting ready to work on that. It was phenomenal. I did some avocado toast, and it's good, but it wasn't like that. It was life-changing. Maybe they did a boiled egg. I couldn't remember. I did a fried egg and put on mine. Anyway, I gotta go check on my corned beef, y'all. I will talk to y'all next weekend. I hope y'all are being blessed. 2 more to come. Peace. Oh, and I did take some pictures of this. I'll be putting up a little video in like a little quickie video later. Peace.